どうも。Shishogen Haku desu. Welcome to another video recording of me talking about random stuff. Today, I'm gonna retell the classical rakugo neta, or a story called Shinigami, the Grim Reaper. So, in Japan or all over the world, there are many different personifications of God or deities, or sometimes you would say it as spirits. See, the personification of gods and spirits do not necessarily have to be positive. There's a personification for poverty, pestilence, and even death. How they are portrayed and what exact work they do, how they reap souls from the unfortunate, is different from time to time, and from across cultures, different interpretation occurs. But today, we are gonna talk about the unfortunate tale of a greed-ridden young man and his attempt to outsmart the benevolent Shinigami. So this young man, he was born, or should I say, he's quite quirky. He had the ability to see supernatural effects that most of the time others wouldn't see. It's kind of like a mutation or just a self-proclaimed mystical power that he claims to have. But because others don't have one and he doesn't sound reliable enough, nobody trusts him. But he does so that he could win more gambling bouts. Kind of like cheating. This cunning move used by his mystical eyes oftentimes allow him to win a lot at first, but he ended up losing it all because of his overconfidence. See, the ability to see the result doesn't really mean he'll necessarily win. And an attempt to change it, it only backfires. So, one day, when he lost all of his property that he held with him in a gambling bout, he was kicked out by the bouncer. Depressed, he saw that the gates to hell is quite near him. He decided to go and take a look. Well, I've already lost all of my prized property, and I have no more to lose. Why not just jump into the hellhole and end my life here? He thought. So he walked across the busy streets and headed towards the riverside. He lifted his right leg over the barricade at the very edge of the riverside, and proceeded to do so with his left leg. As he finishes, he sits on the very edge, contemplating whether he actually wants to jump into the hellhole situated beneath the river. Then, as he decided, screw it, I'm gonna jump, he felt a cold breeze, and a figure appeared behind him, grabbing his shoulder. You don't want to do this, young man. The young man turned around and was shocked. The figure is the figure and his hand are purely skeletal. And when he turned around, he freaked out and yelled out, Who are you? Why are you touching me? Get off of me! The figure shrugs off, and though he expected the reaction, he still proceeded to said to the young man, You don't want to jump. I know you have lost all your property, but what I'm trying to say is that you don't want to jump. You still have a lot of time in your life. Maybe I could provide you some advice. I don't need advice. Those advice are nonsensical and wouldn't bring me wealth. I need to make big money fast in order to continue my bouts with those jackasses in there. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but I have an offer. This offer is something that you wouldn't want to refuse. Unless it allows me to earn money fast, I will not consider it. Oh, don't worry about it, young man. It's going to be all right if you accept my offer. Say, I need you to be a doctor, someone who goes against us Grim Reapers in some occasions at least. Continue. See, we Grim Reapers, we reap souls. You know that. We reap people's souls at the brink of death. But there are occasions when the Grim Reaper could be stopped, and that victim, or should I say, the sick, they could rejuvenate their health. But it has to be a doctor who knows the supernatural arts, or else it wouldn't really work as long as we Grim Reapers and our colleagues are beside. So, if you take up the job, and I'll teach you how to get rid of us Grim Reapers, it'll earn you a lot of money. Besides, this job earns more money than professional doctors in the hospital or those healing services offered by the church, the temples, or the shrines. So what do you say, young man? Want to take on the job? That does sound like a big money opportunity. Maybe I would do it. So, cut the crap and tell me, how do I get rid of Grim Reapers if I visit the sickly? After I become a doctor, at least. Oh, you don't really need skills. You only need one simple spell. And I'll teach you right now. See, there's a simple spell that's effective on all Grim Reapers, regardless of whether they are as hideous looking as I am, or they're an idol at a very big agency. It all works as long as they're beside a poor soul whose souls are about to be reaped. You just have to say, Ajarakumo, this Ajaramokuren Tekeretsu no Pa, this long, lengthy, but simple phrase. And then you clap 2 times. And we Grim Reapers will know. Oh shit. Time to go. But there are occasions that the spell would not work. First, wait, there are limits to the spell? Of course there are limits to every spell. What do you expect, young man? But it works most of the time. See, there are instances where the spell wouldn't work. It would not work on a healthy man. Well, thank you, Captain Obvious. It would not work. It would not allow a victim's severed arm to reattach on the body, nor would it allow a new limb to grow. Yes? And, most importantly, if the Grim Reaper is situated near the poor soul's foot, it's perfectly fine and the spell will not give you any repercussions. However, if the Grim Reaper is situated near the poor soul's head, it's best you not cast a spell. It will backfire. How? You'll know if you do it. But should you cast it, and the Grim Reaper is at the head, there will be unforeseen consequences. And things will go very, very ugly. So that's how it works. Why don't you practice the spell, and I'll comment on you whether it's good enough or not. Okay, so I just clap 2 times and say the spell. Yes, that's about it. Okay, Ajaraka Mokuren, Tekeretsu no Pa. Wait, where are you, skeleton? Skullhead, where are you? I guess the spell worked. So the young man just went back to his shabby little home, take out a portion of a cardboard box, a half-dry pen or brush, and just a sloppily wrote, "A freelance supernatural doctor can heal most severe injuries." And the day when he wrote this, nobody came. Of course, it's very sloppily written. But 2 days later at the night, a desperate man walked into the house and asked, "Hello? Is the doctor here?" Yes, I'm the doctor. I'm currently on my rest time, but what do you inquire? My dad, he's severely ill, and all the doctors are like, they're out of duty. The queue's too long, so I ventured around and heard that you're this supernatural doctor who might be able to save my father. And I was thinking whether you could do so. I'm currently at my rest time, but since I am a freelance doctor, I guess I could help you. So we will. So do I just take my elderly here to you? No. This place is just my resting place when I'm off duty, of course. I'll go to your estate and how should I say this? We'll see about the situation, and I'll determine. I'll know whether he's terminally ill or still savable. Thank you very much. We'll pay you anything, okay? So let's go. So the desperate man took that young man to his house, and into the room. The young man saw, there's a Grim Reaper sitting near the old man's feet. So, if I remember correctly, he thought to himself, I do the spell and everything should be alright. And the old man would theoretically be rejuvenate back to health. He would be born again. Then he told the man, I could start an operation now, but you might need to go to another room and keep us to ourselves. The young man proceeded to leave the room and shut the door, and the desperate man left the room, and the young man shut the door, sat down, and sat next to the Grim Reaper, who so happens to be taking a nap. Then he thought, oh, since the Grim Reaper is taking a nap, it'll be the perfect time to wake him up and do the job, get the job done. He just tried out and thought, last time I tested it, it worked, so I'm gonna do it again. He nervously reached out to his hand in front of the Grim Reaper, and he yelled, Ajara Kamongren, Tekretsu no ba! The Grim Reaper heard the two claps, was awakened, rudely awakened. He heard the spell and the clap, and he points at the young man. And then he just vanished. The young man saw that the Grim Reaper wasn't the individual who touched his shoulder, and the young man was very excited. Looks like it all worked. Time to call the desperate man back. So he opened the doors and yelled out, the operation's over. You can all come back in. Your old man, he's back to health. He's good again. The old man just bolted up and yelled, oh, I'm quite hungry. Somebody, give me food. As there are no legitimate food back at the shabby household the young man was at, he yelled out, your old man's up and he's hungry. Prepare 2 sets of tendon teishoku, and we can call it a day. But I only had one elder. Are you dumb or something? I've got exhausted by the operation. I need one too. And you better pay me. The food isn't included. As he walked out the estate, satisfied with a lot of money in his hand, he went back to the leisure district and started gambling again. The cycle continues and continued. Every time he lost all of his money, he went back taking offers with his supernatural operation to cure people. To the original skeletal skullhead dismay, the cycle continued, and the greed associated with the ability to cure people and quell off the Grim Reapers, it just worsened. So the skullhead decided it's time to put a test on the young man. As the young man is still slacking off, Skullhead went on and visited the Duke. As the Duke fell terminally ill, the Duke's henchmen arrived to the young man's shabby estate and asked, "Well, hello, we heard that there's a doctor here." "Oh, yes, that's me. I'm the doctor they're talking about. The one who has the supernatural skill." Yes, So here's the thing. The Duke fell ill, and he has no heir. The Duke promises whoever is able to cure him would receive a huge sum and a large plot of land, as well as a brand new estate on it. Sounds interesting. I shall go and determine whether the Duke could be saved or not. The young man followed the Duke's henchman into the Duke's the Duke's household. It was gigantic and more than 10 times the size of his shabby estate. And the Duke is laying in bed, coughing, and the young man saw there are not one but two figures sitting near the Duke's head. One was the skullhead, sitting at a far, while another Grim Reaper was sitting, cuddling the Duke's head. As the Duke struggled to breathe and cough, the pressure is on the young man, and the young man saw the situation. He wanted to chicken out. So he told the guards, "I'm afraid the Duke is incurable. He's terminally ill, and even with my insight, supernatural one, he could not be saved. I'm very sorry, but I cannot do this." The guards were very disappointed, but one of them jumped out and said, "We must cure the Duke, or else everyone suffers. No one's gonna rule this land. There's gonna be a famine and everyone dies. Please, doctor, please save the Duke." will offer 5 times the original, or 5 times the original compensation, and we'll build a bigger house on the promised plot of land that the Duke offered in order to cure him. Please reconsider, Doctor. That sounds promising. I'm gonna need you to bump it up to 10 times the gold, or else I couldn't do it. Fine. You want 10 times the gold? I'll give you 10 times the original compensation, and we'll build 2 times the house, 2 times bigger. How about that? We need the Duke alive and fully back to health. See, I have a plan. Wait until the night when when everyone else is sleeping. You four, you're gonna go around, sneak around the Duke's futon, and you're gonna grab one side. Once you do that, you at the count of 3 by me, you're gonna run and switch from the head to the foot. Understand? We do that 2 hours later, when no one is awake. 2 hours passed, and the young man led his little expedition team of 4 different hulky guards, who's able to lift the futon up with the Duke intact and turn him 180 degrees. As they do it, as they wait, the Duke's still coughing. The young man checks whether both of the Grim Reapers heard the commotion. It seems like they didn't hear it. So the young man decided, okay, wait for the count. 1, 2, 3, turn! And in an instant, the 4 men commanded by the young man grabbed the futon and abruptly spin the futon 180 degrees. Then, as the Grim Reaper who was originally cuddling the Duke's head figured the Duke's head is no longer be seen, and in her hands was a pair of feet. She freaked out and looked up to the young man. Then the young man, figuring out that oh crap, she noticed. He hastily grabbed out his hand and clapped. 아저가 먹으런. 태그레스 봐. The 2 Grim Reapers realized the clap, and they pointed to the young man. You screwed up, and they faded away. Everything's done. Okay, guys, time to pay up. So, the young man took the money, and it was a big sack of money. He grabbed it and slowly, because it's the large amount of coins on his back meant that he has to slouch and move at a slower pace out of the Duke's estate. As he left, the Duke slowly recovered, and he's sleeping with a more peaceful breathing pattern, or He's sleeping more peacefully with no major interruptions. As he and the young man, he felt that he earned a victory by outsmarting the Grim Reapers. He laughs in joy while walking back home. Halfway there, at the riverside, he met the Skullhead. The Skullhead approached him and said, "What did I tell you, young man? Do not cast a spell when there are Grim Reaper or Grim Reapers sitting near the poor soul's head. You know what will happen." No. I don't know what will happen. You said there might be there might be repercussions, but it seems all right. Nothing occurred. Oh, not yet. Come, I'll show you something fun. Oh, you wouldn't be needing that sack of thing, but if you're willing to drag it over, I'm willing to wait. Oh, okay, I'll go. I'll go with you. Remember the place we first met? This is where we first met. The hellhole. You're so desperate to get in. Okay, cut the crap, man. What are you trying to say? The fun thing's inside. Shall we just get in and take a look? No. I guess we don't have to. You don't have... Let's say this more clearly. You don't have a choice. You screwed up. And you don't have the time to go back to your house. Whether it be luxurious, grandiose, big, or tiny, dark, shabby. It doesn't matter. You screwed up. And it's time to pay up, as you would say. No. There must be some misunderstanding. What do you mean pay up? I'm the one getting paid, remember? You hired me into this job. You can't do this to me. Oh, I guess you didn't learn entirely from the limitations of the spell, young man. See, I told you there were limits, and I warned you not to cast the spell when there are Grim Reapers sitting at the victim's head. Yet you did. So you don't have the option. Or I can take your powers away from you. But you would end up trying to jump into the hellhole again. So let's settle things once and for all, shall we? Here, take a look over there. That place is your projected, grandiose new home that the Duke promised you. Now take a step closer. As the young man takes one step closer, the skeletal figure, Skullhead, pushed the young man off the riverside, and the man proceeded to fall into the river. Then the Skullhead followed suit and jumped in. Ah! The young man cried, and he, in an instant, he fell onto the ground. And he get up, he crawl up, push himself up, and see the Skullhead. Welcome to hell. That hurts, man. That hurts. I have been falling for 30 minutes, man. And I have a heavy sack of money with me. Do you know how hard the impact is? Don't worry, man. Don't worry. It's gonna be alright. See, we're in the spiritual world, which means you shouldn't feel pain from a physical injury. You just felt pain despite there ain't being there. It ain't being there. Alright. Time to get up. Get up! Young man was intimidated, and he got up as soon as fast as possible, and the Grim Reaper said, "The Duke, he is very terminally ill. He's supposed to die by dawn, but you chose to step in and save his life because his guard offered you 10 times the original compensation. You let your greed consume you rather than fulfilling your duty as promised. So, you see these candles right here? Yes, there are quite a lot of candles. They come in different lengths. Exactly. If the candle still has a lot of portion of wax, that means the person has a lot of time to live. And look at that one. That shallow, short one right there. Where? Right there. At the right. The first one at the right. Yeah, I saw it. It's quite short. It's almost gone. Yeah. When you save a life, you reignite the fire on the candle. However, that short one belongs to the Duke. As the Grim Reaper sits at the head of the victim, it means the Duke is 100% going to die if nobody claps and has a chance to spell. But since you reignited the fire, you basically volunteered in and you changed the candle with the Duke. I was very disappointed to see that you had sacrificed your life for his. And now you're gonna die. But I'm gonna give you one last chance. The skullhead took out his hand. And inside his palm, his skeletal palm, was a very small spark of fire. I'll give you one last chance to redeem yourself. Here's a little fire for you. You can hold it with your hands. However, dawn's coming, and the wind is the breeze is just about to blow. If you're able to make it in time, attach the spark to that dying candle, you'll live. Or else, when the candle burns out, you're going to die. Please. I screwed up. Just let me go on this one, please. I'm I'm sorry to say, but it's not gonna work. Either the candle burns out, or you reignite it yourself. And that spell that I taught you, it doesn't work here in hell. So, what is your decision? Just please, I'll give up the money, donate to charity, and just let me go on this one, please. I'm sorry, kid. I can't do this. You made a terrible decision, and I warned you that there's gonna be unforeseen consequences. So, reignite the fire itself, or die. Okay. I'll reignite it myself. Give me the spark. The skull head reach out his palm of little fire and hand it over to the young man. Dawn's coming in 1 minute. You better make it fast, or you're gonna die. The young man, struggling to reach his tiny spark of fire within his palms towards to the tiny soon to be burnt out candle, and the skullhead proceeds to taunt. 50 seconds. 50 seconds, son. 50 seconds until dawn. The wind's blowing. The fire's going to disappear. The fire's gone. This guy's going to be gone soon. It's time for you to reignite or die. Please shut up. I can't concentrate. Why is this spark so small? Damn it. How do I reignite? 30 seconds, son. 30 seconds till dawn. Or else you're gonna die when the breeze comes close to hell. Can you just shut up for 20 seconds, please? I'm almost there. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, or you're gonna die. You're gonna be gone when the winter breeze comes. Please just shut up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As the young man finally reaches to the candle, the Grim Reaper lunges forward and blows the fire off. Too late, son. You should have never collapsed when I was near the Duke's head. This show is exciting. But it's time to close. As the young man realized he got toyed by the skull head, he proceeds to point at the skull head, but he couldn't muster the strength of his mouth to curse one more profanity against the skull head, and he fell down. Arigatou gozaimasu. That concludes Shinigami, a retelling of a classic rakugo neta. I hope you all understand that it takes time to reinterpret the story, and I've took almost an hour to retell it. But I have warned beforehand that it's gonna take a long time. So, thank you for listening for almost 50 minutes. Shishio and Genhaku is done narrating the story. ご視聴ありがとうございます。それじゃ、獅子王玄白 off.